During the conversation, Powell explained how he and Overstreet had known each other long before Glee. They first met in acting class and became fast friends, supporting each other as they chased their dreams in Hollywood. When the audition for Glee came along, both were excited, but neither expected to be sitting side by side competing for the same role. Powell said they were literally down to the wire, but in the end, Overstreet landed the part. Fans will remember that Sam Evans, nicknamed Trouty Mouth on the show, debuted in Season 2 and quickly became a fan favorite. For Powell, missing out on the role wasn't easy, but he made it clear that there were no hard feelings because his friend's success was just as exciting to watch. What makes the story even more interesting is that right after the audition process, Powell and Overstreet became roommates. Powell described the experience as surreal, watching one of his closest friends suddenly skyrocket to fame. At the time, Glee was the biggest show on television, and Overstreet's role put him right in the spotlight. Powell recalled what it was like to live alongside that kind of sudden celebrity attention, calling it wild and crazy to be around. Even though Powell wasn't the one on Glee, he got a front-row seat to see how massive the show's cultural impact was. That experience gave him insight into fame, the highs and the pressures, long before his own Hollywood breakthrough. Powell may have missed his shot at Glee, but that didn't stop him from eventually working with the show's creators. Years later, he teamed up with Ryan Murphy, Brad Falchuk, and Ian Brennan for the horror comedy series Scream Queens, where he played the over-the-top frat boy Chad Radwell. The role gave Powell a chance to showcase his comedic timing and unique energy, and it marked an important step in his acting career. Looking back, Powell sees the missed opportunity on Glee not as a setback, but as part of the journey. It's a reminder of how unpredictable Hollywood can be. Sometimes, losing out on one job opens the door to another opportunity that's an even better fit. In the same podcast conversation, Powell also touched on a different kind of Hollywood story, encountering a recently canceled star at a party. While he didn't name names, Powell admitted it was a little awkward. He kept the interaction kind and respectful, but declined to take a photo with the celebrity, saying it just didn't feel like a good idea. The story shows a different side of Powell, someone navigating fame with thoughtfulness and care. Today, as Powell continues to rise as one of Hollywood's most in-demand actors, his honesty about moments like losing out on Glee or handling tricky social encounters only makes him more relatable. It's proof that even stars face setbacks and tough choices, but it's how they respond. Imagine being this close to landing a role on one of the biggest shows in the world, only to see it go to one of your best friends. That's exactly what happened to Glen Powell, the rising Hollywood star, best known today for movies like Top Gun: Maverick and Twisters. In a recent podcast appearance, Powell opened up about auditioning for the hit musical series Glee years ago and revealed that he lost the part to his buddy Cord Overstreet. According to Powell, the two were in the same waiting room, going after the same role. In the end, it was Overstreet who got the call to play Sam Evans, the character who would later become one of the show's most memorable additions. But here's the twist. Instead of letting it create tension, Powell says their friendship only grew stronger. That sets them apart.